Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by Bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets when you use the promo code Leading Off. It is me, Joey P. That, of course, is the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts, the Cracker Jacks, everybody hanging out in the chat. 60 comments deep before we even get into the show. I love it. I love the community. Just doesn't need us. We're just window dressing completely here on the program. But Welsh, we got a lot going on. There was a trade in Major League Baseball. I don't know if anybody cares. Kevin Biggio is on his way to LA. They might have a better chance with Craig Biggio producing at this point in time. But Welsh, we got a jam-packed show, including the waiver wire today. So if you're used to seeing the waiver wire on our independent videos, we're going to be doing it differently, just like the trade videos for the rest of the season. We're going to be doing it inside the show. So if you're watching live, you get to see it before anybody. Aren't you lucky? Welsh, it's a good day. It's a nice day outside. Is it 110 degrees where you are? Where is it?
Yeah, excessive heat warning.
Yeah.
It is 9:30 in the morning here in Arizona. It is 95 degrees right now.
Yeah,
and
it's
it is
75 here at noon. It's beautiful. I love it.
I don't love it. But you know what I do love? I love messing with the chat. These guys don't know, but I saw it yesterday, Joe. They were doing over-under bets on me wearing a hat because I like to wear the hats to not do the hair. So I got them all worked up because I'm haired out today. We're rocking hair. We got the nice polo. No one expected it. They were making bets on what hat it would be yesterday. So you all stay on your toes because I'm watching.
You never know. That's why you watch the show. You just never know what's going to happen. Paul Skenes, we know what's going to happen there. Strikeouts. We got the over. Cha-ching, Skenes. Recorded 8 strikeouts, 6 1/3 innings against the Cards yesterday. Tight game, too. Miles on the other side was very good. This was a fun contest. Paul Skenes continues to look really sharp. You know what else I thought was really fun, too? I've been seeing when he warms up with the football, just like Nolan Ryan used to do. I love that. And I wonder, is there something about that? Because if there's one guy you can point to and say, you know, he was about as durable as it gets, it was Nolan Ryan. And that was one of the things that I don't remember anybody else doing except him.
Yeah, I mean, there's, I don't actually see a ton of pitchers do it. There's a guy just recent mind, the Royals, Peyton Wilson. He was a former quarterback in high school, I think, big college football prospect. And, every time I would see him, he's out, he's got a football, he's rushing that around. So maybe there's something to it. I wanted to ask you something on Skenes real quick. That performance yesterday, we are continuously seeing Skenes and really give credit to the catchers, readjust his stuff left and right. 42% usage of fastball, the splinker way down. We've seen that be as high as 45%. He had a bunch of whiffs, 14, but only a 25% whiff rate based on swings. He's getting a ton of swings. CSW 31. Here's my question, though. Next year with Paul Skenes, will you rank Paul Skenes as a top 10 starting pitcher? Because after watching him through all these starts, I am just so thoroughly impressed with how we've moved away from what is the shape of the fastball. He is so hard to hit.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Okay, I'm not ranking him ahead of Zach Wheeler. I'm not ranking him ahead of Corbin Burns. I'm not ranking him ahead of Glasnow or Skubal. That's 4. Yamamoto. You want to put him ahead of Yamamoto?
Let's put him in a bucket. Let's put Yamamoto and Skenes in a bucket for a second. Let's put them in the same bucket. So let's figure out 100% not over. So we have 4?
We have 4.
What about Imanaga?
Coming off of Tommy John, but probably not going to start the year on time. Possibly.
Normal Strider. Yeah, that's okay. Let's not do Strider. What about Imanaga?
I put him ahead of Imanaga because of the strikeout rate next year.
Reagans?
Yeah, definitely. So top Joey. 10 is
Garrett Cole 5. Let's say Garrett Cole goes ahead. I know you hate him.
Well, we're up to 6 then. If Garrett Cole's in there, that's 6. If
who is the 5th?
I said Strider. I feel like you gotta put Strider in there. That's disrespectful to Strider to not put him in there. But then you got Castillo, you've got George Kirby, you've got
Bucket. Putting him in the buckets.
You might be right. He might be top 10.
I think it's a top 10 because you're not going to deal next season with.
Although there are 2 other guys too, coming off Tommy John to remember or not forget about, and they will be much more removed than some other pitchers, right? Like Strider, Sandy Alcantara,
and McClanahan.
Now, those are 2 other guys that I would put in there too. Now, if you want to put Skenes ahead of him, I can't argue that, but I'm curious what the chat thinks there. Would you put Skenes ahead of Alcantara and ahead of Shane McClanahan? I don't think I do.
I think either way, like everyone's bringing up interesting, like Nola's in there, and someone brought Ranger.
Nola, the upside is bigger.
Maybe, but what you're starting to do, I think.
We said Scooble Razor. We said Scooble.
We're starting to put Skenes in the same bucket with those guys. So definitives, I think we've got 7 guys. I know this is like kind of an arbitrary-ish question, but my point is Paul Skenes has been this good, this dominant, this consistent with great stuff and a season to work through. I don't know if you're going to be able to go too high on Skenes next year. And I don't know if people will rank him top 10. I think he's going to be top 10, even with the return of Sandy and McClanahan. I think it fits. And I'm saying all of this because I have just been so thoroughly impressed with how the catchers have used him, how he has pitched. He's pitched backwards sometimes. And he's just a tough out. He just mounds strikeouts left and right. He got to 8 strikeouts, I think it was, in like 70 pitches. And he keeps doing this. If we had no cap this year, we'd be top 10. We'd be well inside the top 10.
Yeah. Look, it's certainly food for thought. It's a good conversation. Aaron Judge, 2 for 4 with a home run. Look, I mean, he's around 10 at the very least. So I think we can lock that in. Judge 2-4 with a dinger. A good game for the Yanks. Stroman 5 2/3 scoreless. Jesus Luzardo 2 runs. Trade him now. Trade him now before the bad start happens. 5 2/3 against the Mets. Yeah. Julio Rodriguez stole 2 bases yesterday. Corbin Carroll 3 for 4 with a triple. How about that? Isn't that nice?
Look now for Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll and Julio? What's happening? Well,
Corbin Carroll has raised that average up over 200. Oh, I know. But he has been on a big old hit streak. I feel comfortable saying that Corbin Carroll is on the big bounce back. Short term, it's obvious, but I think there'll be a big bounce back. What I'm not sold on is there really might not be any power. Like the way he's going to have to attack and approach, and he's being pitched. I just don't know if he's going to be able to tap into that, but he doubles, triples. He's going to score tons of runs. He's going to move back into the lineup. Hard hit rates coming up a little bit, barrels coming up. Everything is just like starting to come back up. He's hitting the ball more consistent. He was around like 85 average EV. It's up to 87. This is all great signs. It's kind of a buy. I just don't think we're going to get a 20 homer season from Carroll. Probably going to get like a 12 to 14 if we're lucky. You just got to hope he keeps hitting, gets those stolen bases, scores tons of runs. He's at best going to be a 4th or 5th round talent by the end of the year, but he is turning it around, and that's a big sign. It's a buy to me. It's a buy for Carroll on the cheap.
Josh Naylor with another homer, 2 for 5 for him. All right, we got some fun stuff here. This is some minor league stuff, everybody. So Noel Marte, 2 for 5. Yesterday at AAA, so we work his way back again. He's out there in a lot more leagues than you realize. Go at him. Jordan Walker, 3 for 5 with a solo homer. So far, since he's been sent down to AAA, he's hitting 273 with 13 extra base hits and 3 steals. Does that excite you when it comes to Jordan Walker? You think he might be finally figuring it out?
Yeah, I mean, even when he got sent down, Walker was one of those guys that, like, I thought a lot of the underlying stuff was still relatively positive. Like the hard hit wasn't much different than last year. He was barreling the ball way more this year, which was really good. He was getting the ball in the air more, hitting the ball harder. 89.4 average exit velocity last year, 91.7. Those were all good things. He just wasn't being consistent enough, and he really struggled against four-seam fastballs, which he didn't last year. So if he's got that fixed, if he comes back up, he's going to be like a top pickup for me. But that's the thing. No idea. There's just too many cooks in the Cardinals kitchen. I don't know if they're going to give him that 100% confident call back up, play every single day thing. But if they do, I will buy, because I think we're trending in a good direction. He's hitting homers in AAA. That's a really good sign.
By the way, somebody in the chat asked the Rookie of the Year National League odds. Shoto is now plus 160. So if you invested in when it was 14-1, we told you made money on it already. You can cash out if you want. Skenes at plus 200 already, right behind him now. Just saying.
Pitchers,
I got real tight.
all
real
these
close.
Pitchers that are at the top. Pitchers don't win. Pitchers don't win these awards.
They do win these awards. Just pitch.
No, they don't. Strider was so much better than Michael Harris, and Michael Harris won that award.
I agree, but that's just stupid. But like, it's not like pitchers don't win.
We're going to have two pitchers win it this year. We're going to have Imanaga and Luis Heel, Joe. We're going to have two pitchers win Rookie of the Year.
All right, let's look at the Rookie of the Year.
I just I tried to poke at you and you didn't. What did I say?
I'm looking at, I don't know. I have no idea.
I said I did. Okay, I'm gonna rerun it her real quick, Joe. I said we're gonna have 2 pitchers win Rookie of the Year, Imanaga and Luis Heel. Can you believe it?
No. So funny. I'm glad I ignored you. I'm looking to see how many pitchers in the last couple of years have won this award because you got it in my craw now. You stuck it right in there.
They don't win it.
Let's see. In the American League, the last pitcher to win it. Oh, by the way, speaking of pitchers coming back from Tommy John, Shohei Ohtani. You got to put Ohtani ahead of Skenes?
Yeah, I mean, again, he's still top 10. We're still top 10 if we do, but okay, please just read down this list to find all
Michael
those
Fulmer, that worked out great. Okay. Jeremy Hellickson, Neftali Feliz, Andrew Bailey in the American League, and some guy named Justin Verlander was pretty good. He won it back in 2006.
Okay, so that's a 20 over the last
National
20
League.
Years?
In the National League, we had Devin Williams win it. He's a reliever. Jacob deGrom, Jose Fernandez. Those were 2 good ones.
Okay, so 20 years.
Just saying. Craig Kimbrell. No, it was 15. Actually, 10, actually. Craig Kimbrell, another pitcher. And some relievers here, which is kind of interesting, too. Dontrell Willis in 2003. And Jason Jennings from Colorado. Wow, Jason Jennings.
Oh, Jason Jennings. That's a blast from the past. But, yeah, so my point isn't like they just don't win it often, especially when there's options. But we have made this really clear. The hitters stink. Langford has to get on that big run to take it from Heel, or Heel's got to get moved to the bullpen or some nonsense that Joe is.
You can move to AAA and you're all going to hate life. When he makes us three inning starts for the 2 months for July and August. Brett Beatty, 3 for 5 with a 2-run dinger yesterday, 2 at AAA. So a lot of those guys he'd never AAA. Just keep an eye. I don't believe in Beatty, but Marte I definitely do. Rookie Carlos Rodriguez made his debut, 2 earned runs and 3 2/3, struck out 4. Any takeaways from Rodriguez's debut in the major leagues? Well,
cash money. I bet Toronto first 5 money line, and then I also bet them full game. You know, he looked better. The big bill on him in the minors was just very heavy fastball. He ended up throwing, it's essentially 3 different pitch types because he's got 3 different fastballs. He throws a cutter, a sink, great cutter, sinker, and a 4-seam. You're covering all different portions of the zone. He did that about 60-70% of the time, and then he threw a changeup and slider. Those were okay. I thought he was okay. He's just going to sit in the zone. He's going to get banged around. I kind of think he might long-term be a reliever, but, he could go the way of a Peralta. He looked better than I thought he was going to look because I thought it was going to be a lot more hittable fastballs.
Louis Varland, 5 scoreless now, was against the Rockies, and he got sent down today. So there you go. So a little spot start for Louis Varland, but a good one. So we'll take what we can get. Connor Norby also sent down to AAA. Any thoughts or feelings about that one, Walsh?
Kind of stinky. Kind of sucks to see him go, but
you want to make some room for Jorge Mateo, don't we? I mean, come on, all the Mateo.
Ramon Urias. Ooh, we got to get these guys in there.
All the Mateo.
I want the Kobe Mayo. I want the Kobe Mayo to be fully healthy and better.
Down there too. He's still working his way back.
And the Holiday and the Jackson.
Jordan Lawler, 3 for 6 with a solo homer. Do we see Jordan Lawler this year?
They are working him out at third base in AAA right now. There's a lot of local chatter out here about how bad Eugenio Suarez is to the point that the big local sports station had to reiterate a move that was being made was not Eugenio Suarez being gone. He plays really good defensively. His bat is bad. The Diamondbacks might be setting themselves up for a move that is going to have Lawler coming up maybe in the next month or so or post All-Star game. And it looks like Lawler would go over to third because you've got Perdomo back. Kevin Newman has played well and Blaze Alexander's trying to work through. So I actually think Lawler does have an opportunity. I'm kind of pessimistic about his bat, but he absolutely just murdered a ball last night. So that's like a really good sign, but I think we will see Lawler in the near future. I just don't know if it's going to be like a super
what does that do to Davison De Los Santos then in terms of his progress if Lawler starts playing more third base?
Well, he's playing in the outfield. He's almost playing like exclusive. I think he's kind of moving exclusively into the outfield. So this would be Davison De Los Santos. Okay. So that would be something where it's like you want to play him in left field because he's only going to play left field. I would imagine maybe right because of the third base arm.
I play DH. Right field. It's hard, don't you know? You gotta learn how to catch.
I don't know this song.
You know that song? The song about the kid in left field and right field? No, there's a real song. It's a kid about this kid in right field who stinks. He watches the dandelions grow, and then one time they actually hit a ball at him, and he actually catches it. And then the last verse is, I play right field, and he's all proud of it. Yeah,
So
that's why they stick it with us.
Is this this is a song, not a personal experience?
This is a song. This is a
Joey
real
finally
song.
caught it in right field.
Infield prospect for the Tigers, Jace Young, homered twice yesterday. So this is a guy too who's kind of right there. 11 homers this year over at between the two levels of minor league ball. Do you think that the 23-year-old, he's a top 75 prospect right now on a lot of boards? Do you think this guy is somebody people should be adding this week or kind of speculating over?
Well, no, I don't mean to be dismissive about it. Like, sure, like we could get him called. I just want to say. I kind of did. I'm not a big Jace Young guy. Saw him a bunch in the AFL. I really have never loved his big approach. It's just got like it's almost his hands out really weird, and he does tap into some power. I think he's going to be more of a doubles guy, some big swing and whiff lower in the zone as well. But they brought up Justin Henry Malloy. I'm not sure how aggressive this team wants to be. I mean, Colt Keith also has been like really turning it around this past month. So you have to find like where are they going to put him, because Colt Keith is second base and Jace is a little bit better placed as second baseman. Torkelson's been hitting a whole bunch. They probably are going to try Torkelson before Jace Young. So I think we'll see Jace this year. He's not on a stash list for me, though.
All right. Now, I just want you to know, I found the song. It's a Peter, Paul, and Mary song, but that's not what I remember it from. I remember it from many, many moons ago on the Pizza Hut commercial.
Pizza Hut commercial.
I found it. Would you like to see it, everybody? I think that's a big yes from everybody.
Pizza Hut commercial.
You know who loves Pizza Hut?
We're gonna get demonetized, but go ahead.
They're not gonna get demonetized. You know who loves Pizza Hut? This guy. This guy right here.
I like Little Caesars.
All right, so let's take a look at this right here because he loves Little Caesars. All right, here we go. This is the right field song, and we're gonna play it here. It's only a minute.
Make it bigger.
Look at this. It's me. Hanging out there with all his little friends.
There's Joey.
The game's dragging on. There's strikes on the batter. Some runners are on. But suddenly everyone's looking at
Joe, it's coming.
My mind has been wondering.
You guys are about the same size, too.
They point to the sky and I look up above. And a baseball falls into my glove. I play right field.
Look at this. My soul is so feeling caught the
You're
ball.
so happy. Is that cousin Donnie I saw too?
Yeah.
That's why
All right. I've never heard of this in my life. I've never heard of this in my life.
As a proud sponsor of Little League Baseball.
There you go. There you go. Look at that.
Still playing, Joe.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy. It's so great. Isn't it great? Dude. I love it so much. It's such a fun bit. It's so fun to have all the guys being celebrating over there in the outfield. Oh boy,
pizza. Your guy, you old guys in your memory. That's amazing. So
hey man, I'm just saying. Like I see, Mike knows. See, there you go. Look at that.
How old are you, Mike? Mike is over.
Mike
under
is
45.
definitely 40.
Yeah. 45. I've never seen that in my life. I don't know what. I mean, it seems very like early 90s.
It's very late 80s, early 90s. I want to say somewhere in there. But the fun part of the song, Welsh, is that it was at one point in time, like it's the beginning of the song is they put me out there because I stink in right field, and then he makes the big catch to win the game.
I'm happy for that. That was more like me when I was playing Little League. Yeah, 100%.
I was pretty good. I was an all-star. I played high school. I was pretty good. College scholarship, didn't play, but
college scholarship for baseball. Did you really?
Yeah. But instead, I got more for acting, so I went instead, and I learned acting instead.
The most important thing
to go that route. And take a whole other path.
We need when we do the next big pros trip, because I don't know when we'll all be together again. We've got to do a baseball competition type of thing. We got to see some of those.
I've been pushing for a wiffle ball game forever. Yeah. I want a wiffle ball home run derby contest because that is the ultimate equalizer. That is the equalizer. All right, it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to look ahead to the waiver wire. So without further ado, let's get you the names that you need on your team for this week with the waiver wire. I want to add him. Welsh wants to drop him. Who knows how things will go? You'll have to tune in. All right. First guy on the list is Drew Thorpe. Now, I understand when a guy makes a jump from AA, sometimes we're not super excited about it, but he's 38% rostered right now. He was 7-1 with a 1.35 ERA. There's nothing left for him to learn in AA. yeah, maybe you can go throw him up there in AAA for a few innings, but what's the point of that? He's got 60 innings under his belt. If you're going to give him 120 on the year, you might as well take some lumps there with the White Sox. And the first start yesterday of his major league career was pretty good. He struck out 4 over 5 innings. Now, the defense did not help him, Welsh. I'm sure you saw that too, but that's going to be what the White Sox are going to be. Path to wins are going to be tough, but can he give you good peripherals? I think he can. So if you're in a deeper league, Drew Thorpe rostered right now in about 38% of leagues is a guy that I would still add. You're going to be limited, but if you're hurting for pitching right now or in the next month or so, I think you're in a good spot with him. Yeah. Alec Burleson. This is a guy that was on my list already a few weeks ago, and I got to bring him up again, Welsh, because 10 games in June, he's hitting 286 with 5 extra base hits. On the year, he's got a 283 batting average. He's been very steady with the average. He got 9 homers, 24 ribbies, 21 scored. This guy's kind of come out of nowhere, and he's still only 50% rostered despite all that productivity. So, Welsh, any thoughts about Burleson and whether or not you would be adding him this week? Because I think, again, that roster percentage at this point should be higher for him.
Yeah, I mean, I like Burleson in points leagues with the really low Ks and, the higher contact rate. I think that makes a lot of sense. But, he's showing some really solid power. He gets opportunities to lead off where he's going to, he's going to score some runs. And he's just not a big OBP guy. He's not going to get on base a whole bunch, which hurts a little bit. But one of the lowest K rates in baseball, a 287 expected batting average is higher than his actual 283. They're dying for offense. Again, the only thing I would point out is just like this team is a glut of players. When Tommy Edman comes back, Jordan Walker's in the minor. Will Victor Scott ever get back? It's the only thing that makes it weird. But Burleson has been a guy that has proven to be kind of this super util. He could play in the infield. He won a Gold Glove in the infield. He can play in the outfield. Like I'm down with Burleson. Burleson maybe a tiny tad bit deeper leagues, but he's a great player. He's actually one of those players I look at as like a streaming hitter. I know everyone talks about streaming pitchers, but if you can facilitate like 2 or 3 guys and just burn and churn them out. Burleson's one of those.
I got a name for you. Ben Zobrist. Remember him? Just kind of played everywhere, just hit the baseball, had a little pop, had some good batting average seasons.
Zobrist.
Yeah, so everybody likes a good Ben Zobrist now and again. Hunter Brown's been picking things up, but unfortunately, no one's picked him up off the waiver wire. He's 65% rostered right now. And because of that turnaround, because obviously he's not going anywhere in this rotation anytime soon with the injuries they had to Christian Javier. So Hunter Brown right now, I think you like what you're seeing over the last 3 starts. He's only given up 4 earned runs over those 3 starts. It's a better trend. Yeah, the walk rate's still a little higher than you want it to be, but he's still pretty young. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. We talked about him at length. If you missed it yesterday, go back and listen to yesterday's show because he did a breakdown. Welsh had a whole breakdown about Hunter Brown and the things he's doing better now.
Cut that 4-seam. He's stopping throwing. He's throwing that 4-seam less, more sinkers, and better results.
Well, look great. Now no one's going to go back and watch yesterday.
No, way to go back and listen.
Still go back and listen. There's a lot more than that. Welsh took his shirt off.
Joe does impressions. I had a hat on. It's great. It's a great show.
Max Meyer, another guy, 42% roster, I think should be added right now. Again, be ahead of the curve. You could probably add him for a couple bucks here because whenever they announce he's coming back, people are going to spend a lot more. Available in 60% of leagues. Go do it. And Welsh, an oldie but a goodie, 50% rostered right now across the board. Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw is set to begin a rehab assignment probably later this week or the beginning of next week. So be ahead of things here. Let's only spend a couple bucks on Kershaw. Stash him on your roster if you have the space, because we all know around the All-Star break he's going to be back and he's going to be pitching for the Dodgers. They didn't spend all that money on him. Now, this could be bad news for Gavin Stone. I think that could be a guy between the Bobby Miller return and the Clayton Kershaw return. Somebody's getting squeezed here. Probably going to be Gavin Stone will be my guess, which isn't deserving, but doesn't matter. Money talks, and Clayton Kershaw is getting paid. So old man Kershaw is going to be back sometime this time next month. So I'd be adding him as well. So those are the guys, again, to add. The pitchers, Clayton Kershaw, Max Meyer, Hunter Brown, Andrew Thorpe, and a hitter, Alec Burleson. Those are your waiver wire ads for the week. Welsh, let's get to the next part of the show, the 3 up and 3 down. Will Smith, it's the Dodger edition. Will Smith, 3 for 4 with a 3-run homer. James Paxton, 6 innings there, 1-run ball against the Rangers, and Shohei Ohtani with a 2-run bomb. 3 down, Dane Dunning, 6 runs and 3 2/3. Hector Neris blew another save, boo. And Max Fried was just kind of mid, 4 runs over 5 innings. Juan Soto on the injury list here, but in a good way. He was out playing the field. Did this surprise you, Welsh?
Love it. No, I mean, not big surprise. Obviously, like, he is way better than we thought. He already got into a game DHing. Huge news. But give me Jason Dominguez, or I'll keep crying about it.
Yeah. Logan O'Hoppe had a little groin injury. It was, he's okay. He's walking it off. He's going to rub some beer in it. He's going to be all right. Jack Flaherty, got an anti-inflammatory injection on Monday. So we'll see how that goes for the back. Kodai Senga, Welsh. Kodai Senga is going to throw a bullpen session today. We'll see how that goes. Edwin Diaz is going to be activated tomorrow. Get excited. Taylor Ward left the game early because of a lower back issue. Jurickson Profar also left the game due to knee soreness he's been dealing with for a while, apparently. So it could be sell high time on him. Bobby Miller made another minor league start on Thursday. He's all set to do that. Kyle Tucker has not resumed baseball activities yet, but hopefully soon. Zach Gallen with a hamstring injury. He threw a 31-pitch bullpen session. This is some bad news here, Welsh. Christian Encarnacion Strand has ligament damage in his hand, and he might have season-ending surgery. This would be a huge bummer, Welsh.
Yeah, I think that's where it's heading. I will say this, though. It's a positive for roster construction to understand what the Reds are going to be. Like Noelvi Marte's coming back. What does that look like and mean for the roster? It's one less fight for these guys to all be playing regularly. So it is bad for Strand.
Well, you're right.
But at
That's
least we're not
biggest beneficiary is Marte.
Yeah.
You're 100% right on that. Like he would just go in there and become the everyday guy. Like I don't see
first
any
base,
reason why
DH takes away from maybe Candelario. I mean, it's like we don't have as much to deal with now. I mean, if Matt McLain ever gets healthy, maybe that throws a little bit of a wrinkle in, but that ain't happening anytime soon.
Are you a believer in McLain? I know he kind of came out of nowhere last year.
Yeah, I like Matt McLain. I think I never believed the batting average because I watched him for 2.5 years, AFL in the minors, always struggled with consistent batting average. And then all of a sudden he was just, I hit 290 all the time. But he is a big power. He has huge power. He definitely can run. I just thought he was going to be more of a 250 guy, but I am a believer because he made some huge strides. If anything, I was ready to go into this year with McLain over Altuve. So yeah, I am, but I don't know if I would buy him like coming back this year.
And yes, go Cards. Alvarez did play for the Mets. He got activated yesterday, but he went over because he's a Met, and that's what you do. J.T. Real Muto is going to miss a month because of right knee surgery, and Brian Wu was scratched from the start yesterday because of a forearm issue. So he went from Brian Wu to Brian Wu. Yeah, like the opposite. Like yeah. So not good here for Brian Wu. Welsh. Is this now the sign where the Mariners better get a move on because they've been kind of treading water. If Wu goes down, there's Crochet, there's Luis Robert. Put your chips into the middle of the table and go make a move.
Yes. The only problem is the conversation around it right now. I don't blame it. I know people have been like, about this, but the White Sox want more than what the Padres traded for Soto. But like, I think Robert has an extra year of eligibility in there as well. So if that's the cost for Robert, let's say, that probably looks like, if we were to translate it to the Mariners, let's just call it Johnny Farmelo and Laz, because the
one Farmelo, he felt smart.
Yeah. Or Ty Pete and Laz.
Does that do it? Does that get it done? I guess.
Well, no, but my thing is like they traded James Wood and Mackenzie Gore and CJ Abrams. You're going to at least have to do that for Robert. So what you're saying is go get Crochet and Robert. I don't know if you can get both of them. Maybe they have to go and try to go get a Crochet, which, by the way, a Crochet probably costs two of them. So if they were to get both, they're going to have to deplete their entire system, but you would have two massively.
Yeah, but if you can control them for 2 years, 2 years or more, like for Crochet, well, why not?
I agree,
man. This is your window. Go get it done. You're the Mariners. Come on. It's not like you haven't even gotten there ever. Just get there, bro. Ugh.
They should go and get one of these guys. I don't, you know what I would say too? Here's another little side thing. Maybe you say, screw the Crochet thing because of the cost. Get Eric Fetty. Eric Fetty has been good this year. Get a veteran pitcher. Get him in the back into the rotation.
Go get Luis Severino. Go get somebody like that. You get him for a song.
I'm saying go get Robert and Fetty in a trade, and then let the White Sox go get our King's ransom for Crochet somewhere else.
That's fine too. Speaking of ransoms, it's time for the best bets
of the day.
Nice, Welsh. With Joey P and the Welsh, make sure you're placing your bets over at bet365. Use that promo code leading off, bet $5. Get 150 in bonus bets when you do. Boy, Welsh, I wish you would be a little bit more enthusiastic.
Oh, ransom! You threw me off. You're like, speaking of ransoms, I'm like,
but then I threw out the, talking about money, talking about, stuff,
I think you just threw me.
What do you think?
Off,
I was talking about the old Mel Gibson movie.
I don't know. It felt very like stick 'em up. I was like, whoa.
By the way, Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. Terms and conditions do apply. Let's talk about the bets today. 500 yesterday, not so great, but I love the over today. Total runs, 9 is the number between the Braves and the Baltimore Orioles. You got Povich, you got Schwelly, you got Schwelly balls on there. I'm going with Schwelly balls. That's what that's what I'm calling it.
I bet
Good old Schwelly balls is on the mound. Yeah, I think we're gonna get into the bullpens here, and I think we're gonna go over this run total. So give me the over on this one. San Diego once again on the run line, -1.5 against the A's. It's just a good bet, kids. Michael King on the mound against the A's too. I like him over on the strikeouts too. I think it's 6.5, but I'm still going over on it too, just barely. Gunnar Henderson going back to that game with the Braves and the Baltimore Orioles. Give me the over on the total bases, -114 for him. Marcelo Ozuna, give me over 0.5 RBIs. I'm giving you 4 bets today, no parlay, so I'm giving you the extra bet. But the Marcelo Ozuna one at +140. Love that to drive in a run today. Again, I'm looking for runs in Baltimore, Atlanta, so I'm investing there. Welsh, where are you investing today?
Well, I was 2-1 yesterday. We'll take it. We will take it to the bank. And I've got a lot of bets that I do like. I will give a pseudo parlay. It's not an official play, but here are my plays so far. Sonny Gray, 6.5 strikeouts, taking the over -125. This is a very good matchup. He has hit this, I think, in 2 of his last 3 starts. So, Pirates strikeout numbers have just been a bit higher as of recent. So I like this for Sonny Gray. Would have liked if it was a little bit lower, but I'm still taking it. You mentioned San Diego. I'm also on the San Diego run line. +110 I saw it at, -1.5. A Nerfy, Chicago and Tampa Bay, no run first inning, -125. There's a couple that seemed interesting. Odds are really bad. Javier Assad, Aaron Savale. Cubs are worse as far as they're up in like the top 10 in no run first inning scoring, but they are much worse. They're in the bottom half of the league away. So I kind of like this one as one of the plays. If you're looking for a parlay, I don't hate the idea of maybe rocking a run line parlay of the Twins who are about to play and the Padres. Put those two together, you get almost 3-1 if you take the run lines on both of them. But you want to check out all the other plays. People are, hey, where's our big money parlay stuff? Go to bettingpros.com/Joe, bettingpros.com/Welsh. Check out our plays. Maybe you can put a couple together if you're feeling frisky and want to do some parlays. But we got some good straight bets up there for you guys to start rocking today. And keep that little notification. I want that little fire symbol. I got that fire symbol on me right now.
Fire symbol back. I had the fire symbol for 4 days, and now I don't have. That's all I want is the fire symbol back. So, Welsh, you're going to bring some more energy to the close here for the board?
Yes.
Those were the best bets
of the day.
That was beautiful, Welsh. That really moved me, almost as much as the right field song. All right, let's talk about home run calls. I'm going again, sticking with the bets here. Marcelo Ozuna, I'm invested, so let's just go all in. Welsh, where are you going for your home run call for today?
I completely forgot to even put up a home run.
Well, I'll let you filibuster here. I am at 16th overall here. I'm in the cluster. I'm still on the wrong side of the board. I need one more. Marcelo Ozuna give me 2 home runs today, and I'm back over on the other side. Jerry, I'm back on the other side, loving every minute of it. What do you think? You found a home run call you like here, buddy? You want to go Gunnar Henderson off the Schwelly balls?
That's exactly where we're going. We're going back to Gunnar, baby, off the Schwelly balls. Yep.
All right, so Gunnar it is for Welsh, Marcelo Ozuna for me. So we're all invested in that game. So they better be 13 runs, which means there's probably going to be a 2-1 game or 1-0. That's going to be what it is. Schwelly balls will go 7 scoreless innings. It's going to be beautiful. You know what else is beautiful? This conversation, more of this, more baseball, more of us. Join us right now on our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat, or go right to fantasypros.com/cleaning up. Welsh and I are going to clean this place up. It's a mess. We're going to clean it up and talk more baseball and talk to you about your life problems, talk to you about your trade problems. You got dynasty trades, you got waiver wire pickups, you got trades, you're in a league, you got to figure out stuff, you got roster problems. Welsh and I will help you solve all of your problems. So go over there right now, tune in, and if you miss it, remember you can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts on Fantasy Pros MLB. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Go check out Cleaning Up.
Figaro.
Okay.